something. Everyone has some idea about HTML, right? Okay, so see, there is a best place where you can practice HTML is W3 Schools. Have you seen W3 Schools?
Yes, sir.
How many of you are familiar with W3 Schools?
Yes, sir.
I'm familiar, sir.
Yeah, right. So
Yes, sir.
okay, good. So everyone is familiar. Now I'm sharing my screen. So this place you can see the W3 Schools just will give you the basic structure of the HTML page, and you know what actually goes in the HTML head tag, what does actually need to be there in the body tag, and what is the opening closing tags of HTML. So all these things which is coming with the angle brackets, we call them as tags. Tag, T-A-G, tag. Okay. So if anything which is giving something like a property here, like a class, so this class is called an attribute. So this is an attribute. So this can have multiple attributes. Okay. So that is what actually you need to understand about the basic of HTML. So that is what I call the very basic. So an HTML will have a document type, the doc type HTML, which is for which is representing the top, this doc type HTML is representing, it's an HTML document. So it is asking the browser to render this document as HTML. That's what the doc type HTML is telling. Then obviously an opening and closing tag of HTML. So this opening and closing tag of HTML will yeah. So in between I need to switch and I need to accommodate people here. Okay, so sorry for that. And in the HTML opening and closing tag, in between you are writing your entire code. So let's see this in our own development. So what I do is I create folder always for HTML training. I use Notepad++ to develop on HTML. I can use the editors, the other editors like Visual Studio Code and any other things I can do, but I just want to go with an HTML file which is available, which I can edit with Notepad++. So first I'll create the text document and I will change the extension as well. So what I do is index.html I will give, so it will become an HTML file. So it will become an HTML file. Now I open that in Notepad++. Okay, so now I got the file opened in Notepad++. Close all but this. No. Okay, so now I keep this file alone. Now let me just open this. You can see this became into a Google Chrome. I can just let me double click and open it. So what you see here is there is an index.html, nothing, no content here. Let's type something here like hello world. What it will happen? Saved it. I saved it. Reload the page. What is going to happen? The hello world is going to display. So it is not mandatory that you need to use HTML tags to display an HTML content. You can just like that. You can give some content and that is going to display here in the UI. But it will not come with the styling or the format you are expecting. Now a few tags you need to learn, that is the opening HTML and closing HTML, which this one I have copied here. Let me just remove this, and the body tag I am just removing. I am just giving you the head tag alone. The HTML is mandatory everywhere, but still you have seen without HTML also it is going to work, but it is always a good practice to bring the tags here. Then a head tag, which is actually a header portion like it is not going to display anything on the UI, but it is actually some sort of settings like metadata, some sort of CSS files and JavaScript which is getting imported to your project, to your page where your HTML page is there. You want to include your JavaScript, HTML or some metadata. So those details you are giving in the head portion. Here if I have given the title as page title, I am just changing this as Neonicz training. So this is a training. Then what happens is this title is inside head, and where you can see the title is at the title bar. So this is a browser's title bar. Okay, so this browser's title bar will display the index.html. Now so there are many tags which you can use inside the head tag. The major tag here is which goes to your body. Its body is the tag where your actual content which displays on the page. So now if you say hello world here and reload the page, it's going to display the hello world. Okay, so that's a tag. Now what we have seen, the tag h1 is for heading 1. Now if you reload the page, you will see this as in the zoomed version. That's a bigger one, like it is using for the headings wherever you want to use the headings. And there are headings in different tags, like h1 up to h6 is there. So 1, 2, h2, h3 and h3 and h4, h5 and h6. So you will have 6 different versions of the heading. So different types of heading type you have by using. So this one is h1, h2, h3, h4, h5 and h6. So 6 versions of heading tags is available for you. Then the other tag which we have copied from the normal one is a p tag, which is showing a hello. This is a paragraph. So p tag can close it. Okay, so there is not mandatory that p tag should be closed. I'm just giving multiple p tags here for your understanding. So it will come down like this. Okay, so what does actually this p tag brings is it creates to the next paragraph. That is what the p tag gives. There are a lot of tags which you can see in the W3 schools itself. If you go to the HTML tutorial, you will have n number of initial tags you need to learn, like p, then the HTML, they are tags and they are called as elements as well. There is area, article, aside, so b tag. So there are many tags. So the major ones only we are going to learn in this session. The major tags which we are going to learn is div, span, and this paragraph tag we saw, and h tags we saw. Then we need to learn a little bit about the container tags and non-container tags, the empty tags. We call it as empty tags as well. So there is suppose if I am writing a lengthy paragraph, say like this. So I will be using the junk data. Say this is my paragraph. Let us see how does it going to display. So you saw this displaying it in a a long sentence statement, right? So if I want to do a line break, so what I will do is, say here I'm going to add a tag br. Okay, so this br tag, what does is it actually breaks the line from here, but it doesn't need to be it doesn't need to contain anything. So it's a single tag, but whereas the paragraph tag which has something which is containing, but still the paragraph tag also I am mentioning this next paragraph. So the next code onwards is the next paragraph, so you don't need to give this p, still it is going to work. It's going to work still. If you give this, it will still work as the same way what we have expected. But when we didn't close this h6 or h5, these kind of tags, it will create the malfunctioning of our page. It will create like that h6 and h5 is getting applied throughout the page, so that particular tag is not closed means all the rest of the contents which is residing inside it going to take all the styles which is coming from that topper one. So it need to be a container tag, whereas you should not exceed something. You need to close this like what we were expecting, like this way. So you need to close this. So these are the container tags. There is many container tags. The most common one we use is what we call the div tags. So see, so far do you guys have any doubt in this? Otherwise I will move it into the styles CSS part.
No, sir.
Okay, fine. So when it comes to the CSS thing, I need to go back again. So the style basically you will add in the head portion of the page. So here after the title tag, I am giving the tag called style. In this style I am giving the body background color as light blue, then h1 is a color white, then text align center, then p is having a style with 20 pixel of font size. Okay, so now I saved it. Let's reload our page and see what does it make a change. You see our background got changed into a light blue color, and this h1 hello world became white, and also I think it is h1 have the text align center given, so it moved to the center and it got applied here. So these are the styles which is applied with element names. So the element names in the sense the actual elements we have given p, h1, body tags here, and that elements got applied with the style. Okay, so the styling is such a simple thing where you can give this way background hyphen color and you can set the color. So the most of the time we will use color codes for setting up this thing, like say hash 000, it is going to result in the background color in black. Okay, if you give it is into hash fff triple f, it is going to give you a white color in background. So you need to apply the colors accordingly, and there are many tools which is available online. Also you can pick the colors. Even if you are inspecting the element in Google Chrome, right click and inspect the element. Most probably you give here and give something like color, and you can see these are the colors which is available, default available colors. So you can copy this, you can see the dark gray or any other color, dark blue, so the dark cyan. Okay, So when you apply this color is getting applied. Now you can copy that and you can paste it here. Now what happens is this background is going to be in dark cyan. You got it?
Okay.
So how does this helps you is this is called the developer tools in Google Chrome. So the developer tools will help you to inspect through the elements, where you can see your elements what you have written is available here, and if any styles applied, say this H1 portion, I opened and closed an H1. I think there is some mistake happened. 2 closes for H1. Oh, I didn't close any. Come on. It was my mistake. It was supposed to be closed using the slash. Okay, so this is how it should display now. So this is perfect now. Okay, so now this H1 tag, you can see at the right hand side what are all the styles which got applied. So here H1 is display block and font sizes to EM, all these styles got applied, whereas our index.html we have given the H1 style with the color for color white and text align center. Now let me just give some more style here. Say like I am going to give text align left, and let's give some background color to red. See, my intention is not to make the page beautiful, but to teach you, make you understanding what actually goes. The red color is like this is not good to use, but you can see here the H1 is actually taken the color red, and using this tool here you can change the color code. So you will get the color code here. So you want a different version of red color, then you can choose this from here. Now you can apply this where this one. I need to add the hash at the beginning. Okay. So now this style changes, right? The color changes. Now this is how you can make use of the development tool for analyzing your styles which got applied, or which style is getting applied, which style is not getting applied. Say the H1 can have multiple styles, right? So you are giving multiple styles from multiple CSS, and you need to understand which one is getting applied and which one is not getting applied. And I use another browser called Firefox Developer Edition. I'm just opening the Firefox Developer Edition now. This is also same way, is that tool is also going to help you in the same way. First I need to get this. Okay, so this place also you have inspect element. The same kind of inspector here, you can just use this this icon, you click, pick an element. Now you can mouse over on element and your source code will be highlighting at the bottom. So now I have I'm on this hello world. You can see this hello world at the bottom is getting highlighted, and now I choose that, I clicked on that H4 element has been selected. Now the right hand side, it is not showing me any styles because there is no styles. Now if I want to practice something and see the styles which I want to apply in my code, but before I go to the code, I will try to change it here. Say I'm going to give font size. Behalf of giving pixel, I'm just going to try something like this, x small, x large, xx small, like that. Okay, so now this XXX large is my font size which I have given, so that got applied here on the UI. I can also give, behalf of giving the pixel or these kind of things, I can give something called EM. So 1M I have given, now 2M. So I am just pressing my arrow key and it is increasing and reducing. So now certain styles, now the H4 have this style I have applied. Then I am giving a font, I don't have font color, I just need to give the color. So I am going to give a color of red. Okay, then I change the red to a green color and I choose this color. Okay, so now this color I got. Now let me just give a background color. Background color for this. Sorry. So I am going to give a background color, a beige. So beige is a background color. I am just trying to make it another color. Okay, now I got these styles, right? What I can do is I can just copy all these things, copy this, get back to my HTML page. See where I have applied is for H4, right? H4, open the brace and close the brace, go in between and paste the style. Okay, so now the H4 I have I'm trying to give this style for H4, and now what happens, the H4 is getting applied. I reloaded this and H4 is getting this style applied. See, I feel better to work with Firefox Developer Edition rather than working with Google Chrome development tools, but both are equally competent. The Firefox and not the actual Firefox, so this is Firefox Developer Edition, and this Google Chrome, both are efficient to work for this kind of styles, debugging JavaScript, debugging with the HTML content. This tool is very helpful. Okay, now let me quickly move into two major things in style. There is class and ID. So first let me give an ID, like I need to refer an ID which is a unique item, which is a unique element. It will not be duplicate on a page. It's just a unique ID. This ID which I am going to give as heading. Okay, so the heading is my ID and I need to use hash to represent that heading. Now the heading I am going to give as font size into say 5M. Okay, so 5M I am giving the font size. Color, let me just go with green, and a background color which I am going to give something like what color I can give, yeah, gray. Okay, so this is what the heading which I am giving. Let me reload the page and see if it made any changes to our pages. Okay, I'm reloading it in Firefox. Didn't change anything here. Going back to the Google Chrome and just let me just reload. Nothing changed. As the page which shows in the Firefox, the same as here. Only difference is I just zoomed it. Okay, so now zoomed out. Now you can see this hello world as printed this way. Now let's just get back and apply this heading into some of the elements. So here H1 I am giving ID, which is an attribute. The ID attribute I am giving the heading. Okay, so I am giving ID to this H1 heading and just reload. Now you see what happened. The ID style has changed. What I have applied here, the heading style which is getting applied. Let us inspect the element. Now you see there is a heading is the ID which I have given to that particular element. That element got that styles from the ID, not from the h1 element. The h1 element, you see this h1 element, I have given these styles, but it didn't take and it striked off because the priority is for the ID. So the ID style got applied here. Now let's go back and reload here in Firefox as well. You can see the same happen. Now the ID came here, the ID style got applied. Okay. So ID should not be duplicated in the page. Let's try to duplicate it. What happens? Let me just give h3 also with the heading. See, what happens is that ID style is taken for h3 also. However, this is not a good practice because when you use tools like jQuery, it will look for ID which is a unique one and it will take only the first one. It will not take the next one. Okay. So it is not a good practice to give this IDs multiple times in the same page. It is not a good practice, means you should never use it. Okay. I want to apply the same heading style to many places, then I need to use something called class. How we mention the classes in CSS is using the dot. So now you give the dot, you will get the heading. Say I am giving the heading style as the name. Just reload it. Just reload the page also and see there is nothing changed, which is remaining same. Let's get back and apply using class, this class heading style, and I can give that same style to a p tag also. Okay, so I am giving this heading style to 2 p tags and 1 h3 tag. Let's reload the page and see what happens. So the h3 tag got updated. You see the paragraphs also getting updated with the new style. Do you see this?
Yes, sir.
So any doubts so far? This is about classes and IDs in CSS. See, you can learn many things by practicing only. HTML, it is hardly, it will take for you guys, it will take 1 day or 2 days to learn the HTML basics. Not the basics, it's advanced also. This itself comes in a little bit advanced, the styling and all. So any doubts so far?
No, sir.
No, good. Okay, so so far we have seen the CSS tutorial. Now let me just give you a glimpse of the div element. I'm just going to remove all these things. Okay. Reload and see, nothing works there. No data. Here also no data. Okay, fine. We will remove this style a little later also. See, the styles can be included using a file as well. So you can create a new CSS file and you can import using the CSS file using your style link tag. So we will be seeing that a little later today. Now let me just give you a div tag. Yes, a div is a tag which is used on behalf of what we call division. Okay, so you are dividing the page into multiple segments. So that is where actually your div starts playing something. So now I am just giving this as div 1 and let me just put a div 2. I'm just going with the div 2. Just reload this. You can see the div has came into div 1 and div 2. I'm trying to give a style attribute here and going to apply a style called float. So if I give float left, what going to happen? So this div is aligning towards the left, and the next div start from the end of that. Let me just show you without this, and again I will make sure how it differentiate. Okay, reload this. You see the div which I have selected, the top div, which is taking the entire page, the entire body. The second div also taking the entire body. Now let's apply that element style here. This is how it works. Float left. What happens now? It has changed its container, that it is taking only this much space. The div 1, that much space only it is taking, whereas the div 2 is taking the complete space. Okay, let's give div 2 float right. So now you can see the div 2 has moved towards the right, and it is giving a it is taking only that much space. So this is how you can align the things in the left and right. But when it comes to the Bootstrap and all, we don't need this kind of a float. We can just make use of the styles to align our page properly. So that is a div. And there is one more container tag when we want to add some span or some small icons. Yeah, we will start with the CSS icons, and let's see how we can bring some icons to our page. So I usually use a website called Font Awesome. So you can get Font Awesome with, I don't know why it is not loading. Okay, so the Font Awesome is a site where you can download or you can make use of the what we call the icons, the small icons. Oh, there is some trouble with the fontawesome.com. Oh, okay, I think I misspelled it. So these are the many icons you can bring to your page from Font Awesome. Okay, you can even search here. Say for example, I want to bring a flag icon to my page. Okay, you can see there are many flags which will appear. So you just click this flag. What you will see is you can just copy this HTML, this part, and bring it to your page. I'm just giving it inside the div. Okay, so now I'm giving this inside an I. I can also use this I to change with a span. Now what is going to happen with my page is nothing going to happen. It is going to display only the div 2 content because I didn't bring anything to make this style working. Now this is where the external files we need to bring to the application. How we are going to bring is to include this style. I need to download your path to href, not here. You will get this Font Awesome to start with. Start. Where is this? So what actually I'm looking for is the library, which you can easily get the library to your application, which is called CDN library. You can even download this. You can download and attach this to the application, but I don't want that entire file to be downloaded into my local. Now these guys just allows download. It's on the desktop. No, let me just Font Awesome CDN link. So this is an older version. Yeah, here it is. No. I don't see the CDN libraries. Okay, it's going to ask me to download. I think this is on the web. I need to be it on the web. This is not what I want. I want this one, the download option. Someone is knocking the door. Jittu. So it again went back. Did I click the download? No, right? No, I didn't download anything. Get the latest. I'm sorry, I'm taking a little time here because I think the site has completely changed. Whereas W3 schools also have a font or something. Yeah, okay, finally we got a CDN library. Okay, so what you need to do is you need to bring this CDN library to the CSS. This is just a remote file. You can use the link tag, and this relation is actually style sheet, and you need to give your href towards your file location. So this is the file location. Now we got the file location, which is a CDN library, which is available online. Now let me just reload the page and see whether we are getting that library. Yeah, there is something happening, but the flag is not completely loaded because we are using a different version. So the style which is trying to get apply is this FA flag. So let me just try with this 4.7.0. This is the 4th version. Then I think it should be FAS flag. Yeah, okay, they have a car example, FA car. Okay, so now if we reload the page, we are going to get a car. Okay, so you can see this car, right? So what is the advantage of having this icons like this is, see, if you are using an icon image, what will happen? It will pixelate. So when you zoom it, it will pixelate into, and the style will be going out. But the icon fonts, if you use, it will not. The font icons, if you use, it will not pixelate. It will, you know, even if you zoom out, it doesn't matter. It will not be crashed. Your picture will look better. Okay, so that's where the font awesome comes in. So this is how you can bring different icons, and also okay, this is here is they are giving 3 different styles of the same font. This I tag basically means an italics. Whatever you type inside it, it is going to be in italics. But this place, it is using it as an empty tag which want to show the icon. So that is all they are trying to do with the font awesome. So this is font awesome is a very good place where you can get a lot of free icons, which is free of cost. You can utilize from these kind of CDN libraries, or you can download. As we have seen, we have to just go ahead and download and then utilize that from that download it, configure it in our local, and then give access to that particular file. So that is what all you need to do with the font awesome. I'm taking a pause here. If you have any questions, feel free to ask now. So does that make sense?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So before this Bootstrap, how people were using the application was they used to develop 2 different applications. One is for mobile, one is for web. Now we can develop one application which can be used in mobile web as well as in the desktop browser. So it doesn't matter the size of the screen. Clear, right? Okay. So now the Bootstrap, when you want to include the Bootstrap, we will use the same CDN libraries. There is couple of JavaScript files as well as some CSS files you need to include into your page. You can even bring these files downloaded to your local and include with your location as well. That is also possible. Which one is recommended? It is downloading and keeping it in your server is better, or in your local is better, because these CDN libraries, if this CDN library is down, your application style also will be breaking. Okay. Now let me bring this using the same link tag, and I have given a script tag which is bringing which is helping me to bring the JavaScript extensions for the same thing. So here it is bringing the jQuery as well, and jQuery we will learn a little later, not today, maybe by tomorrow or day after tomorrow we will learn a little bit on jQuery and JavaScript. Today we will wind up with Bootstrap. Okay. So here the popper min.js, which is an additional library which is supporting for some styling, some sort of styling, and giving this JavaScript of Bootstrap. So that is what we have applied so far. And let me remove all these styles which I have created inside this style tag, because I don't want to use any of those styles. For a learning purpose I use that. Now let us reload the page. What happens? The change, there is nothing changed because we haven't done anything for a change. Okay. Suppose we want to build a page like this. I'm just opening my pane. We want to build a page where the page has this kind of a style, where at this this place it will display the logo, and this place it is going with a menu, and then this place it's going with a content, then some of the page.
Hello, Arun sir?
Yes.
Are you sharing your screen?
Am I not sharing?
No.
Okay. You could have tell me. I have written and done a lot of things. Didn't you see anything? Okay, so my page has changed up to this. Okay. Is everybody able to see my screen?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, yes. So I have removed the old styles which I have applied. I have brought these CSS styles and the JavaScripts included in the heading of my page, and the body I removed. I am not using anything in my body. Okay, now my page looks like this, a blank page, where I am actually going to create this kind of a page. I'm not going to create, I'm just giving you an idea of this kind of a page where I have a logo at the left hand side. Then this place I'm going to add a body. Here I am going to have a carousel or some sliders or some pictures or whatever I want, some more content also. Then again I want to have some some sort of small paragraphs in this place. Okay, so or some product display or something like that. So this kind of a display with the earlier CSS which we have learned, how we will be able to do that? It is really difficult, but with really difficult means you have to write everything in your manually. You have to write everything in your codes. Here, using a styling mechanism, I can easily convert this into say this place, this covering place, right? Let me just take a red one. Okay, so this place is going to be a container div. Okay, then inside that I will have a header div portion. Okay, and after the header div portion I will have a left portion and a right side. Okay, again I will have the next content portion at this place, that is another container div. Again this place another container div. Then each one is going to contain in a div. Okay, so this is how I can identify. So these many a div differentiation, not differentiation, div alignment, organizing the div I can understand from this page. So how I am going to do this design on this page is with the container div I need see, I understand there is a container. Okay, so the whole page going to be in a container. Give a div here, div, and closing this div. Okay, so this is going to be my what we call the big container, so the page container. Okay, so now what I say is the page container, then what I see is 3 divs, right? 1, 2, 3 separations. Inside the page container I am going to give a div, this is most probably going to be my header portion, header section. Content section and so the bottom of the page. Okay, now let me reload the page and see. So what I got is I got everything in sequentially downwards. Now how can I organize it is my concern. So this div is going to be a container. So I am just going to give a class container. Let's see what happens. Any changes you see? It contained towards the center, right? It contained everything towards the center. So that is a container. Let's give something like a wrapper and see what will happen. So it goes back. So there is nothing much styles to be taken by a wrapper. Let's see what applied with that wrapper style. There is no styles came with the wrapper. I think, let me just give main wrapper. No, there is no styles applied with the main wrapper. So container is the best one which we can try at this time. Now the container, now the page container came in. Now these are different rows. For me, these are different rows. So I will give class called row, and again class row, and this place also I am going to give a class row. So is it going to make a big difference in the page? Nothing much difference. It's just going to display the things. Do I need to have this page container content here? Let it be there. Let it be there. And what I understand here is, in the left hand side I need something, and the right hand side something I need. Now we haven't given any styles for this class and row, but still if you reload the page, you go to the container, you can see the container has given or brought some styles here in the right hand side. Are you able to see? The people who are watching from mobile will have a tough time, but whoever having from machine, it is clear, right? So the
Yes, sir.
yeah, we haven't wrote anything for the container. So from where the container comes is, it is coming from, you can see the CDN library which is coming from that Bootstrap CSS. Now if you mouse over here in the row also got some styles. So what is Bootstrap is, Bootstrap brings you a set of CSS library. It is a CSS library which has a lot of styles which is predefined. You can just go ahead and make use of it to fit to your screen, your application, make your styles that you can do. Now the row and container are on major things. The same way you will have columns as well. So now I have wrote these one container, 3 divs, sections. Here I prefer, I will have 2 sections, right? The left section and right section. So most probably I am going to give a div there as well. What I will give is, it's a class. Inside the row, what I can bring is a column. So column, COL, then you can give something called MD, which is taking it for medium, and 4. That means I will tell you how does it work. It's a grid system which works in the Bootstrap, and I copy the same content here, MD 8. Okay, now I will show you a high. Okay, let us use something better, logo and menu. So reload the page, you saw the logo came to the left hand side, menu came to the right hand side. Let's take the older one. The older one, it was like header section, it was a single one, but here it automatically aligned the logo here in the left hand side and menu portion towards the right hand side. Now my div column, how does the div column works is, a row will have 12 columns, 12 sections. Okay, that means your entire page is going to have 12 columns. You can give column MD1, MD2, MD3 like that. It will take that 3 sections. If you give MD3, it will take up to the 3 sections. Let me just show you how does it work. I am just going to give it as MD column 1. So column MD1, you see the size has reduced and the menu came towards the left. If I am giving this to 12, what happens is, it requires 12 spaces, right? So in this one space is taken by the first div column, and what will happen, the next div is going to come down because there is no space. If you give 11, it will work. If you give 11, it goes back. Now if you split this to 6 and then the next div to 6, you can see it is taking 50-50, exactly 50% of the width, and the next is also exactly 50%. So that is how the div, row and column works. Inside the div inside the row divs, you can give div columns. Okay, any doubts here? It's pretty easy,
No,
right?
no, sir. Yes.
Okay. Now you goes with the content section here. Here we don't need any compromising, right? Because we have the entire page. So now the content can be in the column MD12. The all entire section it can take. But when we come to this row, the third row, we have 3 boxes or 4 boxes. What we do then? I prefer this box 1, box 2, box 3, like that. I copy this here. Say box 1, box 2. I'm going to give 4 columns, so it will be 3 column MD3. Copy the 2 columns, box 3 and box 4, column MD3. Column MD3 everywhere it is correct. Same. Reload the page. We will see the boxes are aligned. Okay. Now let's remove the container from the above one. Let's remove the container here. For menu design and all, Bootstrap have many other options as well. There is something called navigation. You can just while googling it to the Bootstrap website, you will be easily able to understand how to bring all those things. So this is very much a raw code which I am writing because I want you guys to understand how this development actually happens. Now I have removed the content and now my page alignment is ready. Okay. Now if I want to give something like a border, I can give the border and I can see. Now let us see, this has been designed for a web page which is loading in a desktop, right? So how does it going to work with a mobile? You can change the view here. If it is in Firefox Developer Edition, you can change the view here. Here now you can see the view. It is from an iPhone 6-7 application. You can change this into an iPad. This is in a tab design. When you come to a I don't see any Galaxy phone. Yeah, Galaxy phone here. Or if you want to give some custom responsive design, that also you can see, and you can see the tilt of the mobile here, and it will help you to understand how your page is going to get organized on each different screens. Will that help you? 100% it is going to help. Yeah. In Google Chrome, it is in the left hand side. You can utilize this. It has more options like Moto G, Galaxy S5, and here I am given this as not the 100%. It is given as only 25% or 125%. So you can see and you can scroll. You can operate just like it is in the mobile. Okay, so that is the advantage of having. Another advantage of having the developer tools. Now this content, what we have seen is the content has created. Now for giving something like a padding, what does okay, you need to understand what is padding and margin. Before you understand that, let me just give something like so background success. Let me just see whether it works or not. No. Yeah, okay, BG success, BJ warning and BG, what is that danger, PG error. Let me just see. Error is not danger. Oh, PG danger. Okay, PG danger. Fine. Okay, so you see the three colors. These are three colors, three different colors I used for separating out the rows. Each row I am separating. And you have noticed inside a class attribute I can give multiple class attributes by giving spaces. This BG warning, BG danger, BG success, all these things coming from Bootstrap. Okay, so that helps you in bringing the colors as well. You can set the primary color, secondary color, all these things with the Bootstrap that you can utilize. Now I want to show you what is a padding and what is a margin. For giving a margin, we can give a tag called M. Now if I give M5, let us see what happens with the first attribute. I gave the M5 to the top attribute. What you see is it take 5 spaces, 5 point spaces from top, from left, from right, from bottom. If I give that as MB5, it is going to take margin, M for margin, B for bottom, 5 for 5 points. Now it is going to take only the bottom margin. Okay, so when you give the margin, it separates out, it keeps a distance from the other elements. But what is P? If you give P, padding, what happens with the padding? Now I am giving a padding bottom, which doesn't separate the elements, it is growing the element 5 points, that padding. So it is not with the margin, from the content of that div, it needs to expand 5 points. That is where the PB5 came in. So now if you give MB5 and PB5, what will happen? It is going to have the padding as well as it is going to move a little bit from the other elements. Now let's give this as M. So you should have understand it is MT, ML, MR and MB. The same way PT, PB, PL and PR. Is that clear, right? No confusion on that, right?
Yes, sir, clear.
Yeah. So now when we take this, now you can see this logo and menu has created in this way, and the padding got applied. Now if I give this to all the rows, you will be seeing all the rows will be aligned in a different way. Okay, so now you are able to see that styling what got applied. So the P tag, M tag, tag, the classes P class, M class, MR, PR, all these classes are already built in or readily available inside the Bootstrap. Now when I was looking here, I was seeing something called Jumbotron. Okay, I am taking this Jumbotron content. This is Jumbotron and text sender. It's a content which I am going to take as part of my content. So this content place, I am giving this Jumbotron. So Jumbotrons are something like a that kind of a design. You will understand when it loads the page. So this kind of a design is called Jumbotron. Let me just remove the color, the warning danger, because I gave the color just to make sure that you understand the padding and margin part. So I am just removing all those color, padding and margin. I am removing. So now you can see the Jumbotron appeared in this fashion. Okay, Now let us give this box. I think here the box have some content. Yeah, they are using column SM4 where I used column MD. SM is for small. So this is my box 1, box 1, box 2, my box 3, and my box 4, 4, 3, 2. When I reload my page, I got a look and feel like this. Now let us change this view in mobile and see what happens with the mobile. Oh, sorry, this is not, this is the one. Now you see the mobile, this is not working as responsive. This takes an adaptive thing. There is some mistake which I should have made. Okay, I think that application need to reload, then only you will get this. See, when it comes to the shrinked mobile view, you will be seeing this kind of a window. Inspect element. So this one, reload this. So I am unable to reload. Okay, now actually what happens is when you reload the page, it is going to shrink. Let me just remove the container and see, maybe the container also can affect the row styling. So if I didn't give the container is going, without container it is going to spread the 100% of the page. No, it is not with the container also. There is some bug which is happening with the browser tool. Now let's not worry about that, but you can see when I shrink the browser view, when I make it into smaller place, it is actually coming down. So after a particular area, the content columns are coming down. It doesn't break or it doesn't bring a scroll. Okay, so that is what actually the Bootstrap thing does for you. Now there is something called a Bootstrap navigation menu. So if you want to build a Bootstrap, you need to go to getbootstrap.com. This is the website of the Bootstrap. Say you can go with the examples, you will get a lot of example. So this kind of different pages, product designs, these pages you will be getting. So I use this documentation for taking the samples and understanding the layout and then building the project. Here if I don't see any search button here, let me just search Bootstrap navigation bar. Okay, so this will give you a nav bar. Oh yeah, here also W3 Schools also have that nav bar tutorial. So yeah, this is what the nav bar brings. You need to use this tag called nav. It is not mandatory to use the exact tag called nav for bringing the nav bar, navigation bar, because you can apply these class styles in divs as well. So but HTML5 recommends this navigation tag. That tag you need to utilize. Now if you use this place, you will if you use this navigation, you will get a navigation bar just like this page 1. I think my CSS is not loading. There are some mistakes with my CSS. Oh, sorry. This is from the 3.4.1. I don't need to use the 3.4.1 because we are using the 4.1. The version 4 is we are using. So you remember, when you deal with the versions, there may be possibilities of conflict. So yeah, now the styles came here because I used the right tag. So it is a navigation bar which has a search option, which has a menu, drop down menu, which you can switch, link, which is a disabled one, non-disabled one. So everything is here, right? And now if you shrink this, what will happen? So this is going to change the menu like this. So that's a responsive design now. So that's that is how the responsive design and Bootstrap helps you in bringing the easily designed menus and sleek designs. And this particular style, which I copied this navigation bar from exactly from the Bootstrap website. It is available freely, open source. You don't need to pay any money for bringing or using any of these things. So now with this class, you are able to understand what is Bootstrap, what is CSS, HTML styling and responsive design, right?
Yes, sir.
Any doubts you
Yes,
can
sir.
ask. Now your tasks or your projects are going to start from today. Your tasks also going to start. Questions, doubts?